Hello, friends, and I am back today to talk to you about the benefits of not only walking, but mindful walking. And I want to share with you a story that's happened to me over the course of the last few months. So previously, I had been, I trained for a half marathon, did great, ran it with my daughter in Boston. But it was really interesting. After that, I really had this awareness of what was I actually training for? Who was I training for? Was I trying to do it just for the joy of it? Or was I trying to meet some, I don't know, external expectation? And I think so many of us spend so much of our lives either spending time in the future. And as my new friend Chris Carr said, I interviewed her yesterday. That was a delightful interview, guys. I can't wait for you to see it. She called it future tripping. We spend our time future tripping and we go down these crazy rabbit holes and get ourselves worked up about a future that may or may not occur. Then the other piece of this is actually spending time in the past, right? So you're anchored to some story that you've decided, well, this is who I am, this is my identity. And what happens with this can create both one, guilt, stress because you're not meeting some expectation or you're living up to some story, be it a victim or something else you're feeling guilty about or angry about. There's these expectations from your past that you feel like you have to keep meeting, and why we don't know. Or you have that future expectation again for a future that has yet to happen. But with the piece that comes with the mindful walking, what I decided was I was going to just do walking. And what has occurred with that is I grew in my mindfulness spirit, in my mindfulness presence, in my muscle. So it's been a really delightful and what's the word I'm looking for? A very inspiring part of my day, and almost like it's such an eager part of my day. I'll do anything to make sure I still do it. And I come back feeling refreshed, ready to start the day. I have new and creative ideas. One, speaking to you, how I share those stories. And it has just been an absolute delight. And so I think it's absolutely helped with stress. I am finding that the the mental chatter that's occurring in my mind doesn't seem to be as loud, and or it's not there at all. Again, I don't know how many of you, but I have like this monkey chatter that occurs on a regular basis. But that seems to, the volume on that is turned down quite a bit, or that I'm aware of it and I can say I'm coming back to my mindful walking, and it literally stops. um, and that continues throughout the day. It's not just during the walking period. So I'm not taking future trips. I'm not taking, I'm stuck in the past. I feel really good that I've left that past behind. And, the past has happened. It is what it is. So I'm really trying to live in this current moment, that moment that's continually changing. And by doing that, it's really allowed me to be present in moments that I need to make a decision, or present in moments that I maybe there could be stress provoking, but it has allowed me to say, this too shall pass, and I'm okay. I accept this current moment. The anxiety and the stress just dissipate. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but I will tell you my life, quality of life, and just my mental state has shifted dramatically in the last 2 months. And I feel like I was doing pretty well already, but it's such a powerful experience, that I just wanted to share with you about the mindful walking. And so, starting tomorrow, which is February 1st, I would like to challenge you to a mindful walking. And it doesn't, I mean, I understand weather is different than for others than it is here in Southern California, though we're getting a atmospheric river hitting tomorrow and the next day. So anyway, that might be a little challenge for me. So even if you're not walking outside, if you have a treadmill, or even if you can just do some type of movement inside your home or a gym, maybe it's just mindful exercise in general. But for me, I found that walking is the best, because I'm not trying to think about counting for lifting weights or doing different things. But the walking is really very, very good for me. So take that for, maybe that'll be helpful for you. So I don't personally use poles for walking. Someone's asking, but if you have mobility issues, whatever movement you can do, right? Maybe it's just gentle yoga, or maybe it's just sitting and looking outside and being present in nature, right? Whatever you can do is really, really important that you connect. And I find that the more you can be outside, I appreciate the weather. If you can be outside any part of the day or close to a window where you can observe nature, that's really, really powerful. And so, the way I would encourage you to do this kind of mindful walking to get the most out of it and really think about the benefits of it. Well, one, let's talk about you get improved circulation, right? You're moving your body, moving the blood. You're going to have enhanced coordination and balance, which is fantastic as we get older. Increased energy, right? Because this is exercise. You're going to have better metabolic health, better energy from the sense, better energy utilization, like your glucose. You become more insulin sensitive. Regular movement can help with pain. It also helps with stress reduction, like I mentioned. You're enhancing your awareness and your mindfulness, which improves mood. And like I said, it really increases your creativity, which may make you more productive in your home or your work environment. Again, lots of things you can do there. So here's some ideas for the mindful walking challenge. First of all, you can do some basic mindful walking, right? So you just, start standing and just be aware that your feet are touching the ground. Literally, you can do it even right now. Your feet are touching the ground or the couch or whatever you're sitting on or standing, and just feel their presence. That immediately pulls you into the current moment. And guess what happens? When you're focused either, like, say, on your breathing or some part of your body being present on the ground or touching the table, for example, which I'm doing now, the chatter in your mind or this anxiety, worry, it ceases, right? Because you're pulling your attention to the current moment. And that is where the power lies. And that's where the magic happens. So next, I want you to set an intention for whatever the movement you choose. Maybe it's like I said, chair yoga, or maybe it's just sitting in nature. But for me, like I said, the walking is the most accessible for most people. And it doesn't have to be, an hour. I do an hour every day, but maybe it's 5 minutes. Maybe it's once around the block. Maybe you build over time. The distance and time are less of an issue. I just want you to be present and build this mindfulness muscle, because it doesn't have to be, I have to sit in meditation for hours. You can literally start finding that the more you're mindful during this walking moment and you're setting your intention for being mindful, you're going to be more mindful during other parts of your day that maybe are a little bit more stressful. For example, you may find, I just got an email that's really stressful. You're aware that you're responding in this reaction, right? So before you have this emotional, like, what am I going to do? Sit back, take a breath, connect with your breath. I get you back in the moment and go, okay, this moment, it is what it is. I'm going to accept this moment. Doesn't mean you have to like it, but you can accept it. And then you can decide, well, I can either do something or I can let it be. And I think at that moment, that gives yourself space to make different decisions or more appropriate decisions. They're not just these emotional reaction decisions. You're going to be using your what's the word? Maybe your more intuitive wisdom. So, yeah, that's where I'd like you to start thinking about. That's where you can be, and it can be very easy to get there. Yeah, so for your walk, set an intention that you're really going to be focused on being present. And it's not something you have to do. You just need to use your senses. So the thing that I really like to understand is you need to walk at just your normal pace. You don't have to be like rushing. I got to get this exercise in. This is a mindfulness walk. This is not a go get your heart rate up walk. I want you to focus on your breathing. Maybe you breathe in over 3, out over 3. And maybe you just do that for the first few steps, right? And then what I really find is doing your 5 sense gratitude. So look around and saying, wow, I see this tree. I'm really grateful for this tree. Maybe it's you hear some birds, right? This is your hearing. Your smell. Do you smell something? The forest smell, or you honeysuckle as you walk by? I don't know. Whatever it is you smell. Maybe it's just the rain and you smell the fresh rain hitting the ground. Those things. So you can use your sight, your hearing, your smell, your feeling, right? You could feel your chest. You could feel the ground up underneath your feet. Taste might be a little bit different, but you can think about, I can feel my saliva in my mouth, or maybe you look forward to something that you could be tasting, or maybe you had some tea earlier. Anyway, maybe you can do the four senses that are easy for you at the moment, or maybe you're taking some coffee with you on your walk. I like to walk with tea, so it's easy for me because I drink my tea and I'm thankful for this. So when you combine your senses with gratitude, wow, this is very powerful, because one, the gratitude helps you through the rest of your day, right? You're setting a good moment ahead for your day, and the power of that for the rest of your, I can't even tell you how it'll take the potential glasses that you had for a struggle in your day. It can really put the rose-colored glasses on, that you see things from a different perspective, one of gratitude and patience and presence. I know this sounds crazy, but it really works, guys. I've been here on this earth for 53 years. I would say this is the most powerful thing I've seen shift in my own life. And I've done a lot of things meaning nothing, but I will tell you, if I could have my patients just do this, just this one thing, not even tell them what to eat, what to exercise, what to do. If I could have you do this one thing, I truly believe people's lives would improve, and they would start making better choices. They would start making healthier choices. They would be able to overcome cravings and different things, because it's just a different perspective on who they are internally. So I'm going deep, guys, but it's so powerful. Anyway, next thing, mindful walking with focus on a sensation, right? So again, we begin with our awareness, just mindful step by step. This is where we're going to really be using our touch. So let's move our hands. So maybe we put our hands in our pockets. Maybe we're holding a warm drink. And then just moving your hands, putting them together, maybe touching your heart. That sensation, or maybe the sensation is just the walking, and just focus on one sensation. If you don't want to think about all the different things, just focus on one sensation. And I think what you'll find is that you will notice different things a different way. So maybe you do the same walk every day, but I'll tell you, every time I do the same walk, I'm finding new things along the walk that I didn't see before, because I'm more aware of everything. I'm hearing things, I'm seeing things differently. There's one tree that just stands out. It's got this really cool trunk, and it kind of curves around, and it's really tall, and it's just a different color than all the other trees that I'm walking by. I call it my mindful tree, because every time I walk by it, I'm just like drawn to it as its own entity. Like it's sitting there waiting for me every day to just come by and notice it, because it's like a gift. And so anyway, I think always at the end of your walks, as you end it, just being grateful for the moment when you had these moments, and you're walking in your presence, and just see what happens the rest of your day. You're exercising, good endorphins, you're changing your mental attitude, you're grateful, is powerful. So I hope this finds someone, whoever needs to hear this. I never know. I just have inspirations, and I share what it's inspired to do. And I know it'll at least hopefully hit one person in the right place in the heart. So like always, I want to give to the world. So thank you for spending time with me. I know you could be other places. So I'm sending you my heartfelt love, joy, peace, and abundance. I really want you to feel abundance in your life. And the more you give that, the more you will receive. So give someone else joy, love, peace, and abundance today. Be it a smile to a stranger, opening the door for someone, giving someone you love a hug, whatever that might be. Because I find that the more you give of this, the more you will receive. And sometimes it's overwhelming how much you get back. So I hope that makes sense. And then, if you hear some snoring in the background, it's Daisy. She's getting better, by the way. She very much wants to go Zoomy, but I can't let her Zoomy yet because of the surgery. So I know many of you have been asking. Thank you so much for caring for my Daisy. And if she wasn't snoring right now, we'll pull the computer over. Maybe we can do a live with her too. So thanks so much, everyone. I appreciate you being here, and have a blessed and lovely day. Bye.